Hi, welcome to Doodle Club. Today we're going to draw a bunch of zombies, little zombie characters, all in the mouth of a bigger zombie. If you check back to one of my older videos, we did a zombie called Nice Guy Eddie. So essentially we're going to draw that mouth, but with loads of little characters inside there. Okay, so yeah, not too much in the way of materials you're going to need today. Just a couple of pens because it's Doodle Club, so it's just black and white stuff. Okay, this is what I'll be using: a pencil. Pencils are for losers, so we'll just use a pencil for a little bit, and then a couple of pens, a fat and a thin pen. I've somehow managed to get a 0.8 and a 0.3 here today. I'm using uni pins today, so we'll see how we get on with that rather than the Faber-Castell. So yeah, a fat pen and a thin pen, and then an A5 Art Deco classy sketchbook is what I'll be using today. Usual rules apply. If you're drawing on a bigger sketchbook or a bigger bit of paper, then use slightly fatter pens, or you're just going to draw loads and extra characters. Totally up to you. I've got a bunch of prompt cards, loads of prompt cards in there today. So a bunch of faces, some zombie ones stacked up at the top. A bunch of bodies, not quite so many bodies, but again some zombie style ones kind of stacked up on the top for us to use as well. Okay, let's get on with doing some drawing, shall we? Grab your pencil. What we're going to do first, we're going to draw the mouth. We're going to draw a guideline for the top lip and a guideline for the bottom lip. Now, this guideline for the bottom lip, you don't go to the full width of the page, and also don't go too close. Don't go too close to the bottom, just in case we want to add that fat lip or some other body parts in. So let's go for a line across like that first for the bottom of the mouth. Then we're going to move up top, and what we're going to do is another line going across the page, just not quite so wide. Let's go for a line about there, and that gives us a nice shape. So you imagine those lines, the ends of those lines joining in together like that and like that. That's going to give us a nice little shape for our for the zombie mouth. Okay, you've got those two lines in. That's all you're going to need your pencil for. Well, I say that's all you're going to need your pencil for. We might use that pencil again a little bit later, depending on the complexity of some of these characters that we're going to throw in. So let's go and grab your pens. I'm going to start with a fat pen, a 0.8 first. Fat pen, let's go and draw in some of these lines that are going to help us with the mouth first. Okay, let me just make sure I'm definitely focused in there. Looks a little bit blurry. That'll be alright. Okay, first thing we're going to do across the top, we're going to do a wavy line. It's going to start pointing down. It's going to go up, down in the middle, up again, and then pointing down on this side as well. Okay, so something like this. So starting by, and use the width of that pencil line to gauge where you need to be up and down. As long as you're down in the middle, down on the ends, you'll be okay. Here we go, like this. Up, down, up, down. Little wavy line like that. Okay, nice and easy. We're going to do exactly the same with another wavy line. This time we're going to put it down the bottom here. Just flip it over though, so it's going to be pointing up on the ends and a little lump upwards in the middle. Okay, let me show you like this. It's going to go down there, up in the middle, down there, up on the side. Easy so far, yeah? Okay. What we're going to do now is where it gets a little bit more complicated. What we're going to do now is we're going to continue that line. This line here, we're going to continue it, but it's going to break up, it's going to disappear, it's going to come back about here. But look at this natural curve of it, it's going to come back about here. And then that line is, we're going to have a wavy line that goes all the way up, just on the inside of that line we've done there. Okay, let me show you what I mean by that. So just break it up, it's going to go missing, it's going to come back about there. Let's have a little wavy line that goes all the way up like that. See, again, it's like it's going up, down, up, down. Again, let's try and do something similar on the other side. It's going to be a little bit trickier this side because I've got the spiral binding in the way, but just give it that best kind of wonkiness that you can. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Just breaking that line, it's going to come back about there. There we go, that looks alright, that's not too bad. Gives us a bit of a shape going on there. We'll finish off this character's mouth by joining this bit together. Watch this. With a little bit of a curve, and then same on this side. With a little bit of a curve, okay? Right, let's go double line all of that. What I really want us to do is on the ends of these lines try and flick off a little bit, or just get a tapered finish, so dots and dashes if you can't taper off. But let's go and wonk up these lines a little bit with a bit of double lining. Strong intersections as well, where these two lines join each other, that's where the shadows live, so make those parts of the line a little bit thicker as well, like that. You can go quite thick with that if you want. Same within these bits. Let's just do the wonky line down here first. Gone seriously wonky there. Didn't mean to go quite so fat with my line work. But you know, if that happens, if you do go a little bit too fat with your line work, don't stress about it. It just means you've got to go too fat somewhere else as well. Then it will look like it's meant to be there. In fact, I'll just quickly do that now. Let's go. Quite fat up there as well. Look. Now this line doesn't look quite so bad because this one's really fat up here. Okay, let's double line. Let's double line this bit here. Whilst we're double lining, let's give it those strong intersections as well. So wonky line, fat where it joins in with another line, but pretty wonky in the middle. Let's do this side. Bit of a tricky one, that one. This spiral binding is in my way. Just if you're using a spiral bound sketchbook, just twist it around until you're comfortable with it. Ugh. There we go. Just not getting it. I think that looks better. Yeah, that's nice. Colour those bits in at the top. See this line, there's a bit too much of a difference, I think, between the fatness of that line and the fatness of the bit at the top. So I'm just going to make that a little bit fatter up there. That kind of works a bit better for me. One last time, then double wonky across here. Remember, strong intersections, wonky in the middle, fat on the ends. Double-ended fat off, or double-ended thick off, I think is what we call that one, rather than a double-ended flick off, which is, you know, the other name for a floater line. Okay, so we've got the outside lip. This is our mouth hole. We can add more to it. Just check out my other video for how to draw a nice guy Eddie, and that'll give you a real big clue on what we've just done there. Okay, let's go and put in a bottom set of teeth across here. I'm not going to go too big because I want to leave a bit of space for the characters, but just a bottom set of teeth all the way across like that, and then a bouncy line underneath. I always think if you want to get it symmetrical, try to start the bouncy line in the middle, work your way out. So there we go, start in the middle. Look, 1, 2, 3 bounces. Same on the other side, 1, 2, 3 bounces. Okay, there's our teeth. We'll add the gums in, then we'll double line everything. So just round the back here, we're going to come from the side of the tooth and hook around like this. Side of the tooth, hook around, just follow the shape of the tooth around there. Finish that off with a diagonal line that goes out towards the edge of the gum like that. Or out towards the edge of the mouth, I should say. Let's do the same on the other side. Look, just a little flick around, diagonal line out to the edge of the lip. Stick a couple of floaters across here, look. Just make those teeth look like they're a bit more embedded in the gums. And then let's double line all of that, so make it nice and wonky. Now, if you wanted to, you can go and do the same across the top. Obviously, just flip it over. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that until later on. Just because I'm not sure if I'm going to need a top set of teeth. There we go, double lining everything, even those floaters that we've got in there. Awesome. There's a nice little set of teeth for us. Right, let's see if we can chuck some characters in this mouth. What do you reckon? I reckon we can get probably 4 or 5 across there, maybe 3 across the top. Something like that. We'll see how it looks, shall we? However yours starts to work out, just go along with however it's working out and it'll be fine. Okay, first body card then. Let's have a little look. It's a traditional zombie body card. So let me put that there. I'll zoom in a little bit. Not quite that much. There we go. We can see everything just there. Go and grab your 0.8. Now remember, I'm thinking about maybe 5, 1 in the middle there, 1, 2 that side, 1 in the middle there, 1, 2 that side. So 5 across there. So always be thinking about how big you want your characters to be. Let's go and stick this one in. I'm going to make the first one quite fat. So let's go from here to there. It's just a sausage shape. In with your fatter of your 2 pens. Double line that sausage shape. Make it wonky. And then 2 capital C's or 2 U shapes on this side. One's just going to sit in the middle here, look. And then 1 over on the edge there. Just to put in a couple of zombie style arms. That's it, nice and easy. So those arms are kind of reaching out like zombies. That's the plan behind that. I've gone fairly big with that. We'll see if we can squeeze everything in later. Okay, there is our body. Let's go and find a zombie face for it. Okay, not the most zombie style face in the world, but that'll do. That'll do. Now, because we're getting into the face, because we're getting into the detail of our character, I like to kind of come down a pen size and put the little details in with a smaller pen, a thinner pen. This is where I'm going to go to my 0.3. Now, this character is looking over to the right hand side, so let's draw the face over on the right hand side as well. Start with the 2 eyes. Big circle with a little circle up in the top corner. Colour the rest in black. Standard kawaii style eye. The other eye you want to put almost in the middle of the head. Like that. And you can see how the positioning of the eyes has just helped reinforce the position of the body, or the angle of the body. The mouth is dead easy. All we're going to do is just a little line in there for the mouth. You could just leave it like that. That is a wicked looking little character just on its own. Keeping it nice and simple. But I am going to put in some lips going around like that. That's good. Now my technique as well when I'm drawing like this is to get the bulk of all the characters in first and then decide what little details I want to put in later. So don't overwork this yet. We can overwork it later. Okay, we've done that one. Let's park that one away. Let's see what our next body card looks like. There we go. We've got another zombie style body card. For this one, I think it's going to be best if we do use a pencil. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. There we go. So grab that pencil. Now what I want us to do is I want us to overlap or underlap some of these characters. So rather than doing the next sausage shape coming right from the end there and going out, we're going to have it coming into the head there. So like this. Let's go this side because we've got the arms over there. Let's go there. Just falling behind that like that. Okay, the reason we're going to pencil that out is because when we grab our 0.8 pen, our fat pen, we're going to go and put those arms in. Now the first arm here, look, we've got this bit of body coming up just there. So we'll do that and we'll just follow the pencil line. Little flick off, follow the pencil line, double line it, flicked off at one end, fat on the other end. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come back from this pencil line here. We're going to jump over the top. As we get a bit closer to where the line joins up, we're going to leave the pencil line and we're going to add that arm in. Okay, so watch this. We'll start there, follow the pencil line. Getting closer to the pen line, we're just going to leave that. Just hook a little line down there. This has left us no space for this last character. It will be a challenge to squeeze somebody in there. Double line it. Double line it, strong intersections, all the usual kind of stuff. Now go and throw that other arm in, just a great big U shape. See how it's thinner at the top than it is down at the bottom there. Use this, the positioning of this arm, as a bit of a guide for yourself. I'm going to have it half behind this character, so it's going to be about here. Look. But you see how it ends? The bottom of that arm is parallel. That's quite an important part to do. There we go. It actually looks like a headless character. I really quite like that. You could just leave it like that if you wanted. Of course, I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm going to throw a face in there. So we've already done fish lips. Let's put fish lips down to the bottom. See what our next face card is. There you go. Traditional zombie. Just a couple of teeth. Makes it a lot easier to draw the teeth in. A couple of little wrinkles around the bottom of the eyes as well. So this is where you want to grab your thin pen again. Your 0.3. Grab your 0.3. Let's go and put the eyes in first. Now this character's facing that way, so do the face over that side a little bit. Put the eyes in first. Let's put one just there. And one just there. Already looking pretty cool. I like that with just the two eyes. Flick a couple of lines across the bottom for some wrinkles. Follow the natural curve around the bottom of the eye and then just stretch that curve out a little bit when you're doing those flicks. Grumpy sausage for the mouth. Two teeth, one at the top, nice and big if you don't want to do too much colouring in. One at the bottom, again nice and big if you don't want to do too much colouring in. Colour the back of the mouth in black. And then you've got that little tiny line underneath the lip. Little double-ended flick off. Tiny one just there to finish off that character. Awesome. There we go. Two characters down. Let's go and put another one in, shall we? See what we can squeeze in. So yeah, there's one zombie down. Let's go and see what the next one's going to be. We've got a Gurkasaur coming along here. So I am going to put Gurkasaur. I'm going to squeeze Gurkasaur in on this side. Okay, so you might want to grab a pencil so that we know where Gurkasaur, if it goes outside the lip line here, where it comes back in. And also Gurkasaur's kind of facing that way, which is another reason why I'm putting it that side. If Gurkasaur was facing that way, I'd be more tempted to put it this side, so it looks like it's kind of flowing with the other characters. On saying that, it doesn't really matter where you stick it, just stick it in there somewhere. Alright, I'm going to do Gurkasaur coming from about here, look. Pencil into that one's head, like that. So remember, we've got that little underlap going on. Reason I've used a pencil is because we're coming just outside the lip line, just there. So this will just help us when we go to inking in with our 0.8 with our fat pen. This will just help us have some confidence that that line definitely joins up to this line. If you don't use a pencil line for that, there's always a little bit of doubt on whether those two lines join up, whereas now we know that they definitely do. Okay, we've got these little discs on the back. I don't know what we really call these. I've been calling them spines on the back, so let's go and do that. But we have also got a little gap in there as well, so I'm going to start off with a small one, a medium one just there, then there's going to be a little bit of a gap, and then we'll go for a big one just there. Look, so just go and throw a few of these in. Double line them as well. Lovely. Last thing to do with your fat pen, just a couple of little flick in the V's, look. Get inside there, look, just a little flick of the V's. If you can't do that with a fat pen, do it with a thin pen. Just build it up. But you're just trying to flick that so it becomes a nice little crease. Okay, before we put a face in, go to your thin pen. We're going to put these dashed lines. It's one of the things that makes it look like a gherkin, which is why we call it Gurkasaur. So just around here, look. Let's put these dashed lines in. Around the back here as well. Lovely. We're just about squeezing that all in quite nicely. Awesome. Let's pick out another face card. There you go, nice zombie face card. Put that down to the bottom. I don't think we'll get through all of these face cards, but you know, put them down to the bottom just in case you do need to use them again. This face card is, wow, that's a pretty cool one. I don't think I've ever done Gurkasaur with that face on, so let's go and throw that face in on Gurkasaur. Thin pen, yeah. Stick with that thin pen that we were just using. What you might find is some of your face might be hidden behind the lip there, so just bear that in mind when you're drawing. I'm going to bring the face down to about here, look. So I see a little bit of an eye there. Rest of the eye there. Because we can see the spine on this side, that means the character is facing that way, so that's why I've drawn the face over on that side as well. Two little eyes, that's the first thing to put in. If you've got space, put in those little cheekbones as well. Then let's go and put the mouth in. For the mouth, we'll start off with this little kind of L shape. All the way across like that. Then we're going to throw in a big U shape to close it all off. Leave a little bit of that top lip sticking out though. So about to there, that's nice. Yeah, leaving a little bit of that top lip sticking out over there. We've got 3 triangular teeth at the top, 2 triangular teeth at the bottom, and then a curve for the tongue. Try and stick to that if that's what you want. If your mouth is too small, then just keep it simple. You know, you could just do teeth like this. Whatever you want in there. You could just colour the whole thing in black if you wanted. But I'm going to see if I can stick with what I've got there, which is 3 teeth at the top lip, like that. 2 teeth down the bottom. Little curve for the tongue, and then we can colour the rest in black. Awesome. Last little bit. Little cheekbone just there, another little cheekbone. Little flick around the corner of the mouth there. That looks nice. You could even put a little bottom lip in there if you wanted to. In fact, don't do that yet, because we will come back to these characters and add a little bit in with them later. Right, let's speed things up a little bit now, shall we? Start getting a little bit faster with our characters. So here we go, next one. And what should I do? Should I put out 2 cards as well? Let's put out 2 cards. I think we're at a good point for doing that now as well. You can pick your favourite character and draw your favourite character in there. Just want to fit in a row of characters down the bottom there. Okay, so let's bring out 2 cards. We've got another Gurkasaur, thankfully facing the correct way, which is brilliant. Second character is the loose bounce, I call this one. It's just a bouncy line, but it's quite loose, meaning it's quite big. The tight bounce one, which I think is in the pack somewhere, same as that, just much smaller bounces. Now, if you're drawing Gurkasaur, again, nice and easy. We've seen how we've just drawn it just there. Follow that process again. I'm sure you can do it. Just remember to use the thinner pen for the dashed lines around the back there. I'm going to do this bouncy character though, so I'm going to use a pencil for this one. I find it much easier to use a pencil when I'm drawing this character. Let's go and put in a bouncy line. Let's start about here, look. With a little shape in there. So just using that pencil. The reason I'm using that pencil is so that I can just do the bouncy line, just bouncing off the pencil. You could do it, you know, you could do that line without using a pencil. I just find it so much easier just to bounce this line off the pencil. So watch this. Look. What we're going to do now is just keep hitting that pencil line. Try to finish off with a half bounce, like that. Keeps it nice and tidy if you finish off with a half bounce. Even started off with like just over a half bounce. So try to start and finish with a half bounce if you can. Okay, let's double line that, make it nice and wonky. Fat bits, thin bits, you know the routine. Strong intersection down there at the bottom. Nice easy character, nothing much to do in there. Plenty of opportunity to play around with that one later if we want to add some more details in. Okay, Have you got your Gurkasaur if you've drawn Gurkasaur? Some of you, like, you know, if you're drawing really fast, you might want to put both characters in. But I prefer to just chill out when I'm drawing. Right, let's get those out. Put those to the back of the pile, and let's go and pick out a couple of face cards. So we've already done that one. Let's put it down to the bottom. 2 face cards for this one. There's a brilliant face card. I love that. Let's put that one over that side. Second face card. Again, another brilliant face. So as usual, just grab your thinner pen because we're getting into quite some detail here. So grab your 0.3 or whatever your thinner pen is and draw your favourite face in your character. You are at a stage where you can just come up with whatever faces you want, whatever characters you want, whatever works for you. The prompt cards are just there to kickstart you. As soon as you get to a point where you're like, actually, I don't want to draw that, I want to draw something else, then go ahead, start doing that. So I really wanted to put this face card in, but this one I think is just going to suit the character because it's facing that way. So I'm going to put this one in over here, okay? So look, we've got a big U, small m, big U. That is our eye and nose. So let's go and put that in, okay? Big U, small m, big U. Even though we're only using a thin pen, we can still double line this bit. Squeeze it into that last little gap. 2 little dots in the M for the nostrils. Like that. And then we've got a capital C on its side for the mouth. Make it nice and big. Capital C on its side for the mouth. Make the bottom bit a little bit shorter. Come up a little bit shorter than the top part. Flick back on the top lip. Flick back on the bottom lip. Double line it all. Lovely little mouth there. 2 more curves on the inside of the mouth, one for the tongue, one for the back of the mouth. So here's the tongue, and then the back of the mouth just curving the other way like that, and then colour that bit in. Finish off with that little bit of dribble. Fabulous. 4 characters in. Let's move on to our next one. Let's get rid of these cards. What were they? Face cards. Let's put the face cards away. Let's bring out 2 more body cards. You can choose your favourite body card to go in there. Here we go. We've got a Teddy character, and we've got Tight Bounce. Do I want to put Tight Bounce in? I don't know. Quite close to Loose Bounce. It could look really cool, but having them both together, it could look really dodgy. Let's do it. Let's put Tight Bounce in. I'm going to put Tight Bounce in because you need a pencil for Tight Bounce. You don't need a pencil for this. It's just sausage shape, 2 D shapes on the ears, D shape down here for the belly. For Tight Bounce, though, we are going to need a pencil line. So I'm going to put in. Where am I going to put in this one? Let's go. So remember how we start and finish with when we're doing a bouncy line. We start and finish with a half bounce. So the reason we do that. Because we're doing that, we're going to do this pencil line coming from the crack just there. Look. Oh, look, little curve, look, little curve on that one as it brings it down just to fill this gap at the bottom quite nicely. Put the pencil line in, and then let's go and add in the bouncy line. Remember, you want to start and finish on a half bounce. So I can see in there, look, because it's going to be quite tight. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Bounces in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a half bounce, 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 half bounce in like that. It just keeps it nice and tidy if you do half bounces where the character ends. Let's do the same down here. Look, just keep on doing these little tiny bouncy lines. When you're getting towards the end where you think, all right, okay, my character's coming to an end here. Just there, that's when you want to start thinking, right, am I going to be able to get 2, 3, 4 bounces in? How many am I going to be able to get in to make sure I get a half in there? I think I can get 2 in and then a half. 1, 2, half. Even if you have to make them slightly smaller, it'll be fine. Just start thinking about that just before you get to the end of your line. Double lining a bouncy line is a pain in the backside, but it's worth doing it. There you go, nice little character in there. Right, let's whack in a face. Let's get rid of these 2 cards, put them to the back of the pack. A couple of face cards now. Let me use that one because it's the wrong way around. Here's our next 2 face cards. We've got, yeah, a grumpy little face card there, and our next one is another one of those face cards. Quite a few of those popping up today, that style. Grab your thinner pen, think about which face you want to put in there. I'm going to go for this one again because we've done these kind of, because we've got it there and there. Quite like these little faces. And I think there's enough space to be able to squeeze that in on there as well. Might struggle with this one because it's quite a wide face. Again, you choose your favourite, draw your favourite in there or make something up. Thin pen. It's going to do the thin pen. We're going to start off with that backwards L shape across the top of the eye. So I'm going to squeeze that in just there. Little backwards L shape. It's almost the same shape as this one's mouth. Going to put the U shape underneath. Remembering to stop short. Just don't go right to the edge of that line, just bring it in a little bit. And then that pupil, look at that pupil. It's a nice pupil. I don't very often do them that way, but it's just, again, another U shape with the bottom half coloured in black. It's not one I do very often, but it is quite effective there. Looks good. Okay, face, mouth, this one. Same way as we've done the other mouth where we put a C shape in, but you can see how this one's a little bit squarer, yeah? Top lip sticks out further than the bottom lip again, but let's just try and make it a little bit squarer. So like that. Yeah, that's looking good, a little bit squarer. Flick off of the top lip, flick down for the bottom lip. 2 more curves, one for the tongue, one for the back of the mouth. But we have also got some teeth in the top there, so you might find it easier to put the teeth in first. One there, one there. Because putting those teeth in will just tell you where the back of the mouth needs to go, because the back of the mouth just needs to go in between the 2 teeth. Once you've got the back of the mouth in, then you know where the tongue's going to go. All this gap that's left over at the back here is all tongue area. Big or small as you want with the tongue. Colour the back of the mouth in black. Lovely little character. Okay. I think I'm only going to put in 2 across the top. I think we can only fit 2 across the top. I don't want to squeeze in too many. Let's see how we go on, shall we? And this is the thing, when you're using prompt cards, there is no formula. You just want to keep on filling it up. So I had a bit of an idea about there being 5 characters across there, just about squeeze that in, but there's no formula. There's no reason why you couldn't do 6 or just 3, whatever works for you. Same way as at the top there, I did have an initial idea of doing 3 across the top, but actually I think 2, sorry, is going to be enough there. Okay, let's pick out some body cards. I'm just going to put out 2 again. Pick out your favourite. So first of all, we've got Foot Face, one a personal favourite. It's been hanging around for ages. And then we've got the Merm. Half worm, half mouse. Both of these, you do not need a pencil for these. So this one, I'm going to do Foot Face. Nice and easy to draw Foot Face. But if you want to put the Merm in, you can do. Merm's really good as like the last character to go in because he's quite skinny. You can fit him in any little gaps that you've got left over. So you know, if you're not going to use this one now, you can always bank it for later and use it a little bit later. But yeah, with Merm, it's nice and easy. It's just that sausage shape, 2 ears, very much the same as the bear character that we did previously, just skinnier, really. I'm going to grab my 0.8 though. I'm going to put Foot Face in. I'm going to put Foot Face in over here. Main thing to remember when you're putting these characters in is to try to start them on the dewlaps. So the dewlaps are these like big bits of line. That there, right in the middle there, that's the dewlaps. That's the bit you want to hit. Don't start these characters where these cracks are just here because it just confuses the eye. So let's go and put Foot Face in. So we're going to start there. Look, we're going to go all the way up. Put some toes in. there's 4 toes on there. There's no reason why you can't have more or less. I'm going to put in 1 more there. Bring it down. And again, I just eked it in a little bit just to make sure I hit the dewlaps on there. Go over this line again. Beautiful. There is foot face. Now we've got all these spots all over, so what I tend to do is I still use my fat pen and I'll just do an oval of dots to start off with. That oval is just big enough for me to put a face in. That's the only reason I draw that oval with dots in. All the face is going to go inside that oval. So now what you can do is just go and fill in the rest of the character with loads of little dots. Just staying outside that oval as much as possible. Like that. We can add some more in later if we need to. That's great. Let's get the face card for this one. Okay, face card is, we've got 2 choices again. First face card is, that one's pretty cool because it's like these little shapes just make it look like the holes, the eyes are holes. Good for a skull, that one. I think it came from a skull pack, in fact. And then we have got one on the side there. Look at that. Nice little tongue sticking out. Character. So thinner pen, let me zoom in. Let's go and pick a face for that one. I'm going to go for this one with the tongue sticking out. Now what you will notice as well is there's no reflections. These are like level 1. This is as easy as you get with kawaii style eyes, just black circles. Because all these other characters, well, those 2 have got reflections, I am going to draw the reflections in. Okay, so let's go in with a little circle, little reflection, put in the 2 eyes first, nice and wide apart just there. The reason I like putting them really wide apart is so that I can put that mouth in. Real wide mouth, just a straight line all the way across, a little bit of a smile to it, and then throw the tongue in. The main thing to think about with the tongue is, do you want it pointing upwards, downwards, do you want it long, do you want it short? Doesn't matter, just go with whatever you want. I'm going to put a long tongue in. It's going to be sticking up, double lining it, flick off in the middle, just to give that tongue a bit of a crease. Character done. Right, next one. Told you we're going to start moving a little bit faster now. Let's put out 2 more body cards for our last character. We've got Pablo, looks a bit like a Pablo Picasso kawaii style character, and then we're back at the start again, very similar to the one that we did at the start with that zombie as well. I'm going to throw Pablo in because I haven't done Pablo for a while. This one's nice and easy. It's just a sausage shape. Throw in an arm there, throw in a U shape there for the other arm. Just make sure the bottom of the arms are parallel, and it'll all kind of hold together. I'm putting in Pablo. Pablo's a little bit trickier to do because look, we're going to go up, around, across, around and down. Now the main thing here is that that is going to overlap just there and become a little bit awkward. So let's see how we get on with it, shall we? Across and down like that. See how it hits the dewlaps there, hits the dewlaps there. I wasn't zooming in. There you go. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, hitting the dewlaps there and there, so we're not going into any creases or anything. Beautiful shape. Let's go and put those circles in. These circles could be eyes. I kind of see them as holes in the ears, but they can be whatever you want. Got a couple of stripes down there, so if you've got space, put those stripes in. If you haven't, don't worry about it. It's just there, just prompt cards, just there to give you a bit of an idea of what you can put in into these spaces. Lovely. Right, let's go and move on to our face card. This one, bodies are done. We're not putting any more body cards in. Face cards, let's have 2 more of those. See what face we're going in. Standard kawaii style, smiley face. We've run out of zombie faces, clearly. And then we've got, wow, look at the difference there. Huge difference between the 2 prompt cards there, so you go with whatever one you want. I kind of like the happy one, so I think we're going to go with this happy little character there. So let's go and grab your thin pen. Oh, that's not a thin pen. Grab your thin pen, go and put in those kawaii style eyes first, fit those in wherever you can. Just be mindful about where the mouth is going to go. Use other features to help you get the eyes in the right place, so you can see like that little line coming down there. That little line coming down there, that's how I positioned the eyes to make sure they were bang in the middle. Happy sausage for the mouth. As you know, a happy sausage shape is a sausage with the ends curled up because it looks like a smile. Throw in 3 lines for 4 teeth. Colour one of those in. If you want to knock a tooth out, colour one of those in. That would look pretty cool. There we go. Faces and bodies done. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go through this character or this mouth, just fill in any last little details. It's looking a little bit plain in areas, so this next bit, this is the fun bit to do. Here we go. Let's get in a little bit tighter. There you go. That's much better, isn't it? We'll start at the top, work our way down. First thing I'm going to do, let's go and close this mouth off and put a little set of teeth across the top. Now with these teeth, I am going to have them just going underneath this lip at the top. So I'm going to use a pencil, okay? So we'll have a line going across just there. And you remember how we started at the middle, worked our way out? Let's do that. Look. So starting in the middle, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you see the reason why, that's what you're going to need the pencil for. The reason why I did that was just because we've got these teeth that are kind of hiding behind the lip. Right, let's go and draw those teeth in now. Fat pen. Double line as you're going along. Nice little tooth. I like going smaller as I go out to the side. And also what you'll notice is when you draw them individually, you get slight variations. Like this tooth is just a little bit higher, this one's just a little bit lower. That's cool. That's exactly what you need. This bottom set of teeth are really straight, which just for me looks a little bit boring. So one come up a little bit, you know, shift them around a little bit. Okay, remember what we did next was we went from the gum, we went around the outside and then a diagonal line into the mouth. So starting there, look, follow around the top of the curve. Diagonal line into the mouth. Do the same on the other side. Curve all the way around, diagonal line in there. If you've got space to put those little floater lines in, go and put those in. But we haven't really got a lot of space in there. Awesome, right, that's good. Okay, that's the last thing you're going to do with your fat pen. Go and grab your thin pen and let's go and put some little details in here. So the kind of first thing I'm going to do, let's get in those teeth. Look. With this thin pen, just flick a few little lines and look, a little bit of graining. Some coming from the top, most coming from the bottom. Keep them random, so you've got some short lines, some long lines, that kind of thing. And then let's get into each little character and add some extra features. So like on this character, let's go and add some little cheekbones. Let's go and add a little bottom lip. What else do you want to add in? Do you want to put some lines in that stripe down there? That's all you need to do. You don't have to go overboard with it. Foot face looks okay. I'm kind of happy with how foot face is looking. What I do like though here is these little kind of dashed lines we've got here. So I'm going to bring those dashed lines, going to increase those. I'm going to put them on these two characters as well. Okay, so let's go and do some more in here. So just do 3 together like that. That'll do. And then let's go and put some dashed lines in on this character. 3 together, look, every now and then. Lovely. Let's go and do this one again, just with the dashed lines. Don't think about it too much, just chuck them in. Some down the front. So we're doing these big dashed lines first, and then do those 3 together. Every now and then. What about this? Let's put in a little dash line underneath there. Just goes and makes it look like there's a bit of a shadow in there. I quite like that. Again, this one, let's put some little cheekbones in, just little circles, little ovals. That's what it needs to be. Little bottom lip, anything like that. You can even put some little eyebrows in there. Let's put some little tiny eyebrows. Look how sad it looks with those eyebrows. Awesome stuff. Let's go into our next two characters. So I'm going to put some little shadows around these bouncies. So just inside each line, let's little flick like that. But also this is a bouncy character, so let's go and put some extra blobs in like that. Beautiful. Same on the other one. Let's just put in the little shadows first. Little shadows there. In fact, I might put some shadows in those random blobs that we put in on these characters as well. See these bits? Just put some little tiny shadows in there as well. What about this one? Do you want to make this one blobby as well? Let's do it. Let's go for that kind of thing. There we go. Got some small ones and some big ones in there. I think I just killed an insect during my workshop. Always depressing when that happens. Okay, last little thing. Let's go down here at the bottom. Let's flick a few more bits of graining in the teeth down here. Remembering some from the bottom, some from the top. Lovely stuff. Going to finish off. I'm going to grab a fat pen. I'll use my 0.8. I'm going to grab a fat pen, and the last thing I'm going to do on this little character is I'm just going to colour in the back of the mouth. Now, so this might take a little while, but I think this is going to be worthwhile doing. If you've got a fatter pen, then use that, but I'm going to use my 0.8 just because then I can say I did the whole picture with just 2 pens and a pencil. But obviously for you, just go and grab a Sharpie or something, just something that's going to get that colouring in done a lot quicker. I do have, this is the reason I use Faber-Castell pens, is because they do have a 1.5, which is a nice fat fine liner for colouring in with. Which already I'm thinking I probably should have grabbed that out, but never mind. Yeah, be looking at that other video that I did and adding the other features to this character. At the moment we've just drawn the mouth, but you might want to go and put in the nose, the lips. You might even be able to, if you've got a lot of space, put the whole character's head in. But yeah, anytime you're drawing these characters, these little kawaii style characters, they don't really change much. The prompt cards are all the same. What changes is where you put them. So normally in Zombie Week I'd have them coming out of a head. But this time I thought, let's go and just stick them in the mouth. Normally what I'd do is when we're doing Monster Week, I'd put them coming out of a mouth in Monster Week. But I thought it would, I really like the way we drew this mouth the other day, so I thought this would be a good one to bring back. So don't forget, if you share your artwork online, always use the hashtag DoodleWithKorp. Make sure you've got a public profile. No point in using a hashtag DoodleWithKorp and then got a private profile. I won't be able to see it. I tend not to follow accounts that are private, even if you are Korp Academy members. So yeah, make sure it's a public post, or even join the Discord or join the WhatsApp groups. All the details are in the members area, and you can share your artwork there. Look at that, that's looking pretty good with all the dark area in there. I think it's always worth doing that whenever you're drawing, you want to build up a bit of contrast. You want to build up some big chunks of black, big chunks of white. It tends to balance things out a little bit. It doesn't, if you're just using loads of white areas, it just looks a bit washed out. Using loads of black areas, it can look a little bit dark, but a nice balance between the two works out quite nicely. And also look how these black areas just frame our characters beautifully. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's finish this off. I'm not doing the whole outside character, but I'm just going to put in a few little spots in. Anybody putting any flies in? I like to put a little fly in every now and then. Let's go and stick a fly up the top here. Don't even know if you can see that. No, off camera. Well done. There you go, a little fly at the top there. Let's give it a friend. 2 little flies at the top there. Yeah, there you go. I think we're going to leave it at that. So yeah, just a little bunch of characters inside a mouth, or even looks like a hole. It's only the teeth that give it away that it's a mouth. Give it a signature, and then you're done. Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining in with this drawing tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share it. Love to see what you've been drawing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.